All right, my friends. Well, hey, listen, I haven't been live in a while, but I will tell you this. Fighting in marriage is a real fucking thing. Like, I don't care who you are. I don't care how long you've been married. I don't care how much you love your partner. It doesn't matter how much any of that matters. What I will tell you is fighting with your partner is reality. Battling with your partner is reality. What's up, guys? I know it's been a minute since I've been live. What's up from Australia? So let me tell you what happened. So we have a podcast we do. If you're not listening to my podcast called Date Your Wife, you're crazy. If you're married, you're not listening to my podcast. Man or woman, listen to the podcast Date Your Wife. Why? Because the Date Your Wife podcast, you're going to see the realest shit in a real conversation with a power couple talking through complicated, heavy shit. Today we were talking through addiction on the show we just recorded. Here's what happened, though. I get into the conversation, I'm sharing some things, I'm sharing some specific things about my feelings, right? My wife has been fairly intense with me in 2023, getting me to see some things she wants me to show up in as a husband. Things that I'm like, well, you know, sometimes I'm like, go fuck yourself, woman. And at other times I'm like, you're right. And oftentimes when I say go fuck yourself, and then a little bit later, like 3 or 4 days later, I inevitably find out she was right, I was wrong, and I'm saying go fuck yourself to myself. It sucks. I hate it. 90% of the time when I say go fuck yourself, it's actually my fault. It's just me not seeing that it's my fault. I wish it wasn't the case. I think it's just being a man. How much Adderall can a white guy overlay God with and bullshit business because his wife clipped his balls? You know what's funny about you, Meta Just Soasa? You know what's fun about guys like you, pussy boy? You know what's so fun about guys like you is this. You're always the no profile guys with pumpkin patches, kitty cats, and puppies all over your Instagram. You contribute no value to the world. You just come in and talk shit. The funnest part about it is you'd never say this shit to my face. That's what I love the most about it. That's all the energy you're getting. That's all the energy you're getting. You're a cocksucker. All right, here we go. So anyways, I'm sitting on the show, and I'm having this conversation with my wife, and I begin to speak into some truths that I was going through. Truths that mattered to me, but truths that also I hadn't shared in the way I'd shared them. So I'm sharing this truth to my wife, and my wife is hearing my intensity with it. And inside of that intensity, she's getting upset. She collides with me. I collide with her. She collides with me. She's crying. I start crying. We're going back and forth. Passions are running rampant. And this is live on the show. Now, people hear this and they're like, oh, what are you doing? You're just trying to profiteer your whole life? If you don't know who I am at Wake Up Warrior, we've been teaching for the last 12 years, men and women, how to have it all. We even have a book on it. Check this. I've written 7 other books. We have another one that just came out recently called Warrior's Way, but that's only eternal for our current coaches and teams. But all of this messaging is around pursuing this idea of having it all. And so I demonstrate to people every single day the realest version of what it is to be a man, to be in a business, to run 8-figure companies, to have 5 children, to be married. And so we're not trying to pretend like we're perfect on the podcast. We never have, we never will. We're just going to do real shit. And we're going to share real shit that most of you are too fucking scared to admit even goes on in your relationship, let alone be public about it in a way that people in your church, people in your community, and faceless profile pics with puppies and pumpkins can talk shit about like happened to me every single fucking day. That's a risk, right? And I get it. It takes no risk for you to be a pussy and make a comment. There's no risk in that non-profile pussy boy. There's no risk in that. Where there is a risk is putting real shit online. Not plastic, filtered dog shit. Real shit online. So I'm sitting there in this debate with my wife, real on this show, and I'm having a go fuck yourself moment about her from me to her. And then things get quiet. My wife's crying on a show. You gotta check it out. It's coming out next week. And I was like, fuck. And it's something my wife says all the time. She says, this is going to get you what you want. And this is one of the biggest challenges in life. As a man, as a woman, it's not getting heated. It's not having an opinion. It's not cussing. It's not yelling. It's not making money. It's none of that. It's you being clear about what you want. And the challenge is most of you are not clear about what you want. And here's the principle or lesson. If you are not clear about what you want, you will find yourself fighting for what you are confused about. And that was happening today on the show. I didn't know what I wanted. And so if I was happy, I look back after 22 years of being with my wife and looking at how many times we've gotten in fights and arguments, and neither one of us are clear about what the fuck we want. And so my wife reminded me, she said, what do you want? Where the fuck are we going with this show right now? I was like, I was trying to express what it is to be a man and why guys sedate. Because 99% of successful entrepreneurial men who I've trained, 60,000 plus of them in the last 12 years, deal with one big issue: addiction. They work real hard, they fight real hard to have a life of their dreams, to supply and provide for their wives, to provide for their children, to show up and to feel loved and wanted and feel the attention, go to war outside the house and come home and try to be the man they can at home, trying to be everything to everybody. And I'm not saying women don't have that too, but women got thousands of support groups. Guys ain't got jack shit except for guys talking shit to them constantly if they show any emotion, any weakness. And the truth is, most women, if men show up vulnerable and weak, women aren't turned on either. They're like, that's not breeding safety and security. I don't feel provided for and protected. I feel like you're a weak bag of digs over here. You got to get your shit together. So guys, from the time we were young, have been taught to shut your shit down. You show emotion and cry, you're a pussy. That's man world. Powering in women world, man world, you're a fucking pussy. Stop crying. Stop being a little bitch. This is what we got our whole lives growing up. What does society tell us? Think about pregnancy for a second. Your wife's pregnant. How many times we asking, how's the guy doing? Nobody gives a shit. When's the last time you gave a shit about a man and how he was doing while his wife was pregnant? Did you ever walk up to a pregnant woman and say, talk to her husband, how are you doing right now? Never. Never, 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 never. Why? Because that's not guy game. Nobody gives a shit. Hey, dude, how you doing? Your wife's on her 5th child with you. That means that statistically, 18 months of pregnancy and recovery at minimum per child times 5 child is 5 years plus another 8 months, which do it 8 months, 16 months, 3.2 years. So we're talking about 8 years, 9 years. Your wife has been pregnant or recovering from pregnancy. And people are like, God, that's really rough for the woman. It is. But what about the dude? Nobody asks about what's going on for the dude. There's a book, What to Expect When It's Expecting, female edition. Nobody gives a shit about what guys feel. Society doesn't give a shit about what guys feel. Other men don't give a shit about what guys feel. And the minute a guy tries to talk about what he's feeling, most of the time he is shut down. Try it. Try talking to a pregnant woman about what it's like being a man with a pregnant woman. What's a guy supposed to do with his sexual energy? What's he supposed to do with the stress? You give birth to him and then you've got to take care of that child, provide for that child. Nobody gives a shit about that. I tried. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to communicate what's happening to me here. My wife's been pregnant 6 times. She gave birth to 4. We had stillbirths and miscarriages on 2. And I appreciate it. I'm not taking away from her. And that's the problem. The minute guys try to talk about there's some shit going on for them, they're looked on as taking from women. As if guys can't have fucking feelings. Guys can't hurt. Guys can't be weak. Guys can't be sensitive. So unless I show up alpha, aggressive, intense, and go fuck yourself, people don't listen. If I show up on here, I'm crying, I'm emotional, and I'm in my darkness, and I'm sobbing, you're going, what a fucking pussy. Most people is what they say. And most women are not turned on by this at all. So guys, even when they try to be honest, at home, what they get is a bit repulsed by their wife. She's not turned on. You sobbing and crying as a man with your wife does not lead to, I want to fuck your face energy. That doesn't happen. So guys are in this stuck situation. But the most stuck that men are in is the following. They have no idea what they actually want. Most men have sold the fuck out. They don't have a clue what they want. They don't know what they want, their money. They don't know what they want, their marriage. They don't know what they want because most of them are so deep in survival that trying to get out of survival is nearly impossible. It's the only purpose in life. But what happens to a man when his body's on fire, his spirituality and relationship with God is on fire, his balanced marriage, he's having sex, him and his wife are in a good place, he's doing great with the kids, leading them, feeling connected, and he's got enough money to pay the bills and a little some extra. Well, this man for the first time starts to feel what life might be like beyond survival. But for most men, they're sexually starved in marriage. They're exhausted and fatigued in work. They're overwhelmed as fuck trying to parent these kids in this new TikTok fucking generation. Sexualization everywhere. Confusing genders. Most dudes are just trying to fucking survive. And I'm not taking away from women. I'm not saying that it's not rough being a woman. But I have a penis, not a vagina, so I'm not going to try to tell you how you feel. I love when women try to tell me how I feel. I'm like, go fuck yourself. What do you know about having a penis? I was having this conversation in training yesterday. A couple of my female trainers, they're powerful women. These women are badass and more powerful than 90% of the guys I know. No question about it. They make more money too. They're amazing. And we have this conversation. One of them has 4 boys. And she was talking about how it is to raise 4 boys as a mom. She's a single mom, raised 4 boys. Which listen, she has the children and she's raising children, she's doing her own place to make all the money. She's a badass. But she made a comment about her sons and being able to teach them how to be men. And I said, here's the deal. Your sons hang out with me for one day. I'll teach them more about being a man than you could your whole life. I was like, that's not a downplay on you. That's not. That's called you have a vagina. You're a woman. You'll never know what it is to be a man. Ever. Ever. You won't know what it's like to wake up with hard-ons. You won't know what it's like to be sexually triggered by every fucking pair of tits and ass that walks by or scrolls by on the internet. You won't know what it's like to feel the pressure of all these things of being a guy. You'll never know. And guess what? I'll never know what it's like to every single month have to have a fucking period. That's shitty. I don't even want to have that experience. I'm not even saying that, hey, I get it. It happens in my house. Everybody's on the same cycle. All of my salon girls, all the girls at our training facility, all of my daughters, all my nannies, my wife, all these women. You can see it coming. It's like a fucking tsunami rolling in like 48 hours before you. Like, holy shit, I need a bomb shelter right now. I sort of get it. But what do I get it? I don't have a period. I don't put a tampon in every day, every month. I don't have to do that. So what do I know about it? Nothing. Outside of what I observe. And this is why Wake Up Warrior was born. I birthed this movement, which then birthed Lions Not Sheep, which birthed The Edge, which birthed Man Wealth, which birthed Apex, which birthed all of these movements. Superhuman Fathers now in partners with us. I Am a Comeback in partners with us. Yes Masters in partnership with us. Genuine Attraction, Married Game, Divorce Game. Literally hundreds of thousands of men unifying around a central message of truth. A place where men can come to be men and be free to express themselves to men so they can come back and be the kind of man that can provide and protect their women. But all this comes back to one simple thing. Most men have no idea what the fuck they want. And you broke. You don't know either. Hell, I'm full-time in this shit. Half time I don't know what I want. Life's changing so fast, things are going so quick. And just like happened on today's podcast, I'm in the middle of a fight in a real podcast with my wife. And she stops the whole show and she reminds me, hey, where are you going with all this intensity? What do you want the show to be today? And sometimes that's all it takes. It just takes another person in your life to say, hey, pause. What do you really want? Because you got a lot of this energy and heat and stress and anxiety happening, a lot of frustration going on, but what do you really want? I'd have to consider, too, that coming to know what you want and coming to get clear about who you are is about having a conversation, a relationship with God. And people get real confused these days when they hear me talk. It's like, how's this guy talking about Jesus, talking about God, yelling and cussing, fucking this and that, and blowjobs and sex and drugs? And I am, if you were to look at me as a symbol of the Bible, I'm John the Baptist. That dude was uncontained, untethered, and uncontrollable. He was a wild man. He came before the Lord, preparing the way. I'm a divine wrecking ball. I'm not apologizing for this shit ever, not to my wife or anybody else. But what I can say is that being in a relationship with a woman and being married is the most challenging, the most difficult, the most rewarding, and the most exciting experience of my entire life. There's not one fuck I would trade for my wife. There's not one other woman I would trade for my wife. Because I know what I want there. So my question for you is this. What do you want? What do you want? It's 2024. What the fuck do you really want? I got tools to help you get there. Thousands of our students every year. Thousands. Getting clear right now at this time about what they're committed to for 2024. Building what we call the impossible game. Building the impossible game. I would love to show you how. And I'll show you how for free. Yeah, pay me. Come try it out for 30 days. If it works for you, fantastic. If it doesn't, you can tell me to go fuck myself. You can go set up another profile on Instagram with a kitty cat for a profile and a pumpkin patch pictures and some pictures of sunsets, and maybe some heart chakras, and then you can come back on my Instagram page and you can talk shit. You can do that. You can do that. But do something first before you do that. Click on the link in my bio or go to attackwithastack.com. Attackwiththestack.com and come try all this shit out for free. Just test it, 30 days. I'll give it all to you. You take all the content, software, I'll guide you through it. You get access to the Wake Up Warrior Challenge. You get access to all the shit I used to charge $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for. I'll just give it to you today for free. You can go check it out and try it out for 2024 for 30 days. Try it for the whole month of January. See what happens. Maybe some shit will work. Maybe you'll take that pumpkin patch profile and you'll switch it to your real face and you'll go from a private profile to a public profile. Instead of talking shit to me, you'll start speaking the truth to humanity. And if you did that, that'd be awesome because that'd be a cool story. Because then you go from a little bitch who just threw sticks to a preacher in the streets like me. And that's okay because I used to be a bitch that threw sticks too. So I have empathy for guys with pumpkin profile pics who like to talk shit on my social media. I get it because I used to be a little bitch like that too. So come, all the little bitches and all the badasses in between. Boys, let's roll. And ladies, guess what? For the first time, 2024, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women in our program right now. And we have hundreds of female trainers we're training right now to bring the warrior message to women. So if you're a woman, and you've been following me for a long time, and you're not sure where all this goes all the time, guess what? We have an entire curriculum for you too that we can help you show you, like I've been doing with thousands of hairstylists for the past 6 years, how to live the warrior's way, how to have it all, how to experience this power I'm talking about, and how to mostly get clear about what you want. To access it, again, click on the link in my bio here on Instagram, or go to attackwiththestack.com. That's all I got for you. I'm out of here. This is Garrett J. Signing off, saying love and light. Good morning, good afternoon. And good night.